If you want to have news of what's happening all over the world, have a look at the English Language Gazette, the EL Gazette. You can find out what is happening in the field of English language teaching in Asia, in Europe, and in the UK. Perhaps you're looking for some more practical ideas for in the classroom. So the English Teaching Professional is an excellent magazine where you can find out tips for in the classroom. You may also want to submit your own ideas. If you want to be a professional teacher, you should be always thinking about how to improve your teaching. And by looking at different professional journals and professional magazines, you can improve your teaching style. If you're thinking of being a long-term English language teacher, you may want to check out the academic literature in the field of English language teaching. For example, the English Language Teaching Journal is an excellent way to find out what is happening in the area of English language teaching in the field of research. You'll get an insight into various different disciplines that inform English language teaching, such as linguistics and education. So I definitely suggest keeping up to date with all the English language teaching journals, magazines, and newsletters.
My favorite is ELT Journal. And you can get it either in print or online. Or if I like having it in print, but that also gives me access to it online. And why do I like it so much? Because it exists on the interface between practical teaching and academic study. It's got it's occasionally sort of hard work. It's got often accounts of research, some of which is highly relevant and some which is less relevant. But I'm interested in the kind of collections it had. Under its last editor, Keith Morrow, it was a spectacular journal, and the new editor, Graham Hall, as far as I can see, is going to be fantastic. It has a very good reviews section at the back, so it keeps me up to date with what's going on.
Well, I think that there are some very interesting publications around. I think some of the most interesting and most useful are grassroots publications, such as those published by the special interest groups in IATEFL. And each of those comes out with its own newsletter, whether it's management or pronunciation or teacher development or teacher training or a dozen or so others. And they come out with these publications 2 or 3 times a year. And they're written, these really are written by teachers for teachers. And I think there's a lot to be got from them, not only from reading them, but from writing for them as well.
It's called Focus on Cultural Awareness, because, you know, and I think not only for teachers, translators, interpreters, it's very important to be a well-educated person. And if you know a lot about culture, history, you know a lot of expressions, it will be just an advantage for you. This course book is aimed at broadening your horizon, and it has all the interesting information, all the topics about philosophers, writers, poets, and it has some encyclopedic information, as well as you can train your memory, which is very important when you master any foreign language. And you have some background information, and this course book is also aimed at training your understanding and memorizing precision information, because it's very important. As well, you can learn a lot of interesting proverbs, sayings, which are very famous and everyone uses them. A lot of Latin expressions, because Latin is in all languages. And of course, when you use such expressions, you enrich your vocabulary.
The one I most enjoy finding in my postbox is Applied Linguistics. It sounds really nerdy, but it's always got a couple of articles in that are, if not seminal, that I'll go back and reread. Sometimes years later and think, wow, that is such an important article. So the green cover of Applied Linguistics always fills me with joy when I see it in the postbox.